Get yourself comfortable, my friend. It's time for a little armchair travel.
Armchair travel.
Travel, having recently travelled to the warm, beautiful Gold Coast region south of Brisbane in Australia, is Alison Shaw joining us back on Armchair Travel. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, the Gold Coast, this is a little bit of a trick question, actually. But I know the answer. Why is it called the Gold Coast?
Maybe because they discovered gold. Maybe because the sand is a golden colour.
Good try, but no. It was to do with inflated prices for real estate back in the 1950s.
Wow.
And that's interesting because where I live on Auckland's North Shore, not far from me, there's a sort of a kilometre. It's called it's a mile. It's called the Golden Mile.
There is too, yeah.
Yes. So there you go.
Wow. I've learnt something new.
You've learned something new about somewhere you've been, and
Thank you.
haven't been. But actually, always just from a young age, hearing of the Gold Coast, it always just sounded sort of majestic. Is it rather wonderful?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's just lovely. I think it's the extent of the beaches. There's just bay after bay after bay, and every bay is beautiful. Every bay's got lovely soft sand. It's not really golden, it's more white, and then just beautiful ocean, so I think it's just like everything in Australia is big.
It is.
So you can drive. I think we drove for like maybe half an hour to 45 minutes, just the length of it, and
wow.
Just bay after bay after bay. It's just lovely.
Oh, that's so
really nice,
especially if you're a beach lover like we obviously are. And so you went there, and what's some of the top things that you actually did whilst you were there? Obviously you went to the beach. You went for a swim?
Yeah, we did. We went for a swim, which was good. We didn't stay in for very long, but we did go for a swim because this was in June. So but it was pretty nice. I think a big highlight for us was going to the Australian Outback Spectacular.
That sounds like fun.
So that's out where the other theme parks are, and we're a little bit more too mature for the theme parks now.
Yeah, I'm not a theme park person at all.
Yeah. No. So we looked at SeaWorld, but we didn't go there. We went to this one instead, and it's like a lovely event. You show up there, and it's in this big arena, and it's a 3-course meal, and you're all sitting around the edge of the arena.
Nice.
And when you arrive, you get given a cowboy hat, and there's all the Australian fun and humour, but then it's an actual show. And so the show was really highlighting the plight of farmers coping with drought.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and some of the massive challenges for them in terms of, the threat of having to walk off the land because of the drought conditions. So there was a real, it was a real good story, but really highlighted what it's like for them in a really creative way. So there were live horses,
doing their thing.
doing, and some of them doing the horseback riders doing their like a show. Some standing there holding on, and others sort of lying sideways on the horse, that sort of thing. And then they had them rounding up cattle. There was cattle in there. There was dogs in there. Like it was a multimedia, And then there was, at one stage, even a helicopter came in. Like it was a simulated one. But the whole thing was just like it was a spectacular, and you're eating this lovely food at the same time. So, it was a really good show. Great entertainment.
Educational and entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's interesting. I imagine going there and everything being sort of razzmatazz, but it's nice that it would be a hard place to be a farmer.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like in Auckland at the moment, drought's a long way away, isn't it?
Yeah, the opposite. Noah's Ark.
Yeah, but for these guys, oh my goodness, they go months and months, and trying to get feed and it was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Now, you went on a bit of a cruise, a boat cruise, which actually, funny that, we mentioned off air about it. A friend of mine another friend had been to the Gold Coast recently and talked about this cruise and just how lovely it is. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so you cruise sort of, if you're just visiting the Gold Coast, you probably don't realise how many there's like canals and rivers. You tend to go to the beach, but sort of a few blocks behind the CBD, there's a whole network of canals, and so we went on a sunset cruise. And that was really lovely because we saw the sunset. But it was just really slow. We went along and it was a commentary pointing out some of the different buildings, older buildings, and some of the history, and went right down and then watched the sunset and then just cruised back. Very, very nice evening. Very,
Awesome.
very nice.
Things like that, I mean, do you have to sort of book days ahead, or you just sort of turn up on the day? And
No, we just booked it when we were there, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause we kind of like just to go spontaneous. you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, I've always thought, I mean, I've been to Aussie a few times, not a whole lot, but like, I imagine you weren't there in the middle of summer, but, you know, there's all those, but you did swim, and there's all those people that do swim there. What about, you know, do they have warnings about sharks and things?
Yeah, there are on all the beaches. Actually, like about every 50 metres there was surf life-saving people monitoring the beach.
Yeah.
And they had a little blackboard and just saying what the conditions were. And so, like, they're very vigilant in making sure that there's no sharks, that it's safe where you're swimming, because that's part of their tourism, really, is to
How
get
can you
people
be
there.
vigilant that there's a shark? You don't know if it's underwater, right? I mean, I'm a beach lover, but Australia does freak me out a little bit.
Okay.
We've kind of got it pretty easy here.
I mean, when I say swim, Peter and I are not really swimmers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, up to your
Get
waist
wet.
kind of thing, yeah, and paddle around, have a bit of splash and go in the waves, you know, but it's not like we're heading out
Yeah.
100 metres or anything like that.
Now, the Gold Coast part of Queensland, right?
Yes.
So I'm presuming everywhere you went, there was all that yummy tropical fruit.
Oh, yeah. They do this lovely
love that.
acai bowl, and it's so yummy, lovely tropical fruit. Yeah, really, really nice. And the other thing is there's lots of markets, you know, so that was really fun as well. In the evening, the markets start about 4 o'clock.
Oh,
and the
okay.
other thing is they have a lot of activity on the beach at night, so there's all floodlit and there was all volleyball.
Oh, awesome.
And then another thing called handball, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so there's all crowds down there and there's people playing sport. It's like a competition, but it's just a casual kind of a thing. But so there's a really nice vibe in terms of in the evenings. So, yeah, it was lovely.
I'm sort of imagining that because, I mean, a lot of people go there, and you probably weren't there in peak season, I guess, but because there is so much beach, as you were saying, it took you more than half an hour to drive it, that people can really spread out. And
Yeah. I think there are hubs, you know, where there's shops and stuff like that. But the very first beach we went to, which was the closest to the Coolangatta airport, it was just deserted, you know. It was just a little bay, and there was just one little cafe there, and they seem to have these surf life-saving buildings that they have on the beach, and they all have a restaurant in them, and so. Yeah, no, not crowded at all. Lovely time of the year to go.
Yeah, so you can go there, there's the food and everything on tap, so to speak, but then you can actually escape and be somewhere without the crowds, which sounds nice to me.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Did you guys get up to the hinterlands at all?
No, we had it on our list. We always do a bit of research before we go. But
Next time.
We just didn't feel like driving, to be honest. We just felt like chilling where we were.
Good place to chill.
Yeah.
Nice place to chill and relax. Well, you've sold it to me. I must check it out, the Gold Coast. Armchair Travel. Thanks, Alison.